Loft and get your head right.
Welcome to the Zoloft, your head right hangout, you head right homies, you. It is Wednesday, hump day. Not halfway. Well, I guess if you consider the work week, like just the work week, so we halfway there. We halfway to Friday.
Yes.
Cranky Quarter put in there and said, "Hang on, Sloopy, hang on, Sloopy, hang on, hang on, girl." Hey, well, I hope you guys' week has been going off really good. I hope it gets even better as we go. And let's talk about some stuff that's been going on in the week. Help me make sense of it, right? I know I'm not the only sane person here in the Zoloft, man. This is the head right hangout. We got some sane. I need y'all to help me know that I'm not going crazy. So I got questions, right? I got questions, and I'm gonna try to serve up some good questions as we get a dose up here in the Zoloft. So while I was on my in my office, on my throne, on my phone, on my throne and phone, waiting to flush, go over the news. What? All right. So, and what we got for today is we will talk a bit about, man, what I do with my tab, man. Just being irresponsible again. Cripes. Hold on, let me get to it. That's what I get for having my mind in the toilet again, which is where I get a lot of this news from. Anyway, hold on. Open that tab. I gotta open up a new page. No, not you. Why? For real? You logged me out? You logged me out of my email? Who told you to do that?
That's not nice.
That's not, man. Ain't got no business. That's intrusive. I gotta make sure that I use this specific browser to do that, because if I use Chrome, it'll suck up all my memory.
Who's saying that? Hang on, Sloopy.
I think that was the McCoys, wasn't it?
Oh wow, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, and I think that's the only song. I mean, I don't know if they were a one-hit wonder band or anything like that, but that's the only song that I think I know by them. McCoys, and I hadn't heard that name in, I probably heard the song, before I, more recently than I heard the name of it, like who sang it or whichever.
Yeah,
so I've heard that name.
definitely.
Oh man, this is awkward. Got me just sitting here like, jaw jacking, like trying to bring up. I'm telling you, man, our internet has been stupid slow today.
Oh no.
Like stupid slow. Trying to open up pages and stuff like that. It's like that. And it can't be the rain. Can't be like, Milli Vanilli style. Blame it on the rain. Or should I do it like, on rain? Milli Vanilli coming off like Kung Fu Theater and stuff like that. Come on, Paige. Oh, okay. I guess I'm just gonna have to try to open it up in. We'll have to wait, because even Google wouldn't take this long. But this is what we're gonna try to get through today, y'all. Sorry about that. Thank you so much for bearing with me, and thank you for tuning in on the Instagrams, tuning in on the YouTubes, tuning in on bronzeserpentmedia.com. Dang it. And we're gonna talk about Neil deGrasse, Gracie, Tyson. Got an earful when he asked why athletes don't blame God when they lose. For a really smart guy, you ask really dumb questions. Okay.
Jello Burger says we need Zoe hold music while we wait for the interwebs to load.
That's
I was
a good
thinking
idea.
that too. I actually played in my head like the do 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 do.
Right?
Do, do, do.
Was that the dating game music?
Something like yeah.
Right? Yeah, the only problem is that because considering how slow my computer moves, what you guys end up hearing goes. Spinning wheel.
True.
All right, so GOP Brandon Gill calls for deporting Elon Omar back to Somalia. Gone, girl. Get on out of here. Let the door beat you all in the behind on the way out. Tulsi Gabbard officially confirmed as Director of National Intelligence. Well, okay. And hopefully she's more and more seeing the light, breaking those Democrat brain chains.
Right.
Anderson Cooper melts down on air, curses at Republican guests for fact-checking him. How dare you do that to Anderson Cooper? How dare you? Kristi Noem claws back $59 million in FEMA money spent on housing migrants in New York luxury homes, including Laken Riley's killer. Slap in the face, baby. Let's see, Representative Ayanna Pressley says the quiet part out loud, says Democrats willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people. She didn't get that memo from Malcolm X, man. Wow. It's like, and these are supposed to be like you're super militant Afrocentrics.
Yeah.
And Malcolm X is supposed to be like, the poster child of, this Afrocentrism. And but she skipped school that day on what Democrats had, or what Malcolm had to say about that. So, CNN's Dana Bash is now referring to Elon Musk as, well, Elon Musk changed his, profile name to Harry Bowles. Now, admittedly, my grammatical sense, English lit might not be all that fantastic, but I'm pretty sure help me out here. Because there's a rule where you may have a vowel and stuff like that, and if it's followed by, if it's followed by two consonants or something like that, it's going to dictate to how you're supposed to sound out the preceding vowel, I guess. And but he's spelling it B-O, and I don't remember what that thing that's supposed to, the slash that goes over a vowel. All I know is that that slash is supposed to make that vowel sound, either a true A, true I, O, U, and sometimes Y, right? I guess that's how that's supposed to go. So when you look at how it's spelled, B-O-L-Z, is it supposed to be pronounced Harry Bowles?
Yes.
I think, let me know. Because, because you ever see that that video? Remember that video I showed you where it's like that guy who, he teaches language and he's saying certain things and he has a mirror of himself. He's like, but what if you say it like this? And he's like, it's actually pronounced like this. Yeah. And the guy's just like, ugh. So, you could have words spelled the same way, or, not homonyms or whether homonyms, synonyms, and all that sort of cinnamon roll. Cinnamon. You can't do that to a cinnamon. You can't do that to a cinnamon roll. Cinnamon roll. Anyway, you say these things differently. So, so it's like there's exceptions to these rules in grammar and spelling and stuff like that. So we don't know. But anyway, I think it's supposed to be pronounced Harry Bowles, and she decides to just take it upon herself to say Harry Balls. Yes. And probably because she just wanted to say Harry Balls. I think that's what went down. Trying to make it more, well, I guess for her own personal satisfaction. Maybe she had a Freudian slip there. But the thing is, I think she tried to make more of it than it actually is. She's trying to say that it's Harry Balls. It's like, no, dude, it's spelled Harry Bowles. Yep. I guess maybe the point is that, because if you say Harry Bowles, like Harry Bowles, would that be like a South African accent? Would that be how a South African says Harry Balls?
If you picture Elon Musk and his little, faint accent, yeah.
Harry Bowles. Now, when I say Harry Balls, I'm not thinking about testiculars. I'm thinking of it as just a name. Let me give that disclaimer here in the Zoloft. We keep it clean at PG-13 up here, right? So I'm saying Harry Balls as only as a name, right? And that's it. So, Harry Bowles. Anyway, women's rights activist blasts museum tour claiming Legos. Oh, look out, Legoland. Look out, Legoland. You about to get canceled. Women's rights activist blast museum tour claiming Legos are heteronormative, anti-LGBT. Okay, all right.
I think Legos is pretty woke. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like, but hey, as far as the woke girls, they're kind of like Muslims. You can't live up to the ideology. Everybody fails. And that's just the way it is with religion. And this wokeism is a religion, y'all. It is definitely a religion. And no religion can be satisfied. So these militant, nuts out there, with their, LGBT, narrative and stuff like that. Nobody can satisfy it. And like I said, I try to tell folks, man, this stuff is going to get crazier. Nobody's safe, man. This is going on. There's a lot of things that have to be put in place and changed if you really want to combat this stuff and make it stop.
I think I'm understanding this correctly. Cranky Corner says some interesting trivia. First release was Vibrations, My Girl Sloopy.
Ah, so the Vibrations, I haven't heard of Vibrations.
I know, right?
Maybe I have, because now that I'm trying to think about it, which version of Hang On Sloopy do I know?
Yeah.
Because you may.
Good point.
Yeah, you can hear certain songs and you may think that might be the original version, and it's not.
Yeah.
Like, say for instance, I did that cover of Heart and Soul by Huey Lewis. Now, one would, as far as I know, have all as long as that song is, how old is that song? Like 40 years, right? 40 years. I always thought that was Huey Lewis and the News. Well, and they are the ones who popularized the song.
Okay.
But it was actually, I think it was first released by Exile. I wanna kiss you all over. Yeah, yeah, them.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Sorry, I got that song stuck in your head. But yeah, they're the ones who did that song.
Wow.
They didn't write it. It was a composer or songwriter who wrote that song, and they I guess leased the copyrights to do or got contracted to do that song. But Huey Lewis and the News made it popularized. There's lots of songs out there like that. Or Blinded by the Light, one of your favorites.
Oh, no.
I know you love that song. She hates that song. And Blinded by the Light, popularized by Manfred Mann. I think it was Manfred Mann. But that song was by Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And Manfred Mann's, I'm pretty sure that's who did. Their version is way better, even though you don't like this, but it's way better than Bruce Springsteen's original version. So yeah. But thank you so much for that that bit of trivia.
Thank you, Cranky.
So Neil deGrasse Times asked, and I'm glad to see that one of responses from I think it was a college football team. Was it Texas Longhorns?
The Chiefs, and he was shouting out the Texas Longhorns.
Okay.
Because he's from Austin, he's a Texas dude. So.
Got it. Okay. You guys know that I don't keep up on sports. Like I said, I know
I'm forced to because of the coworkers.
Yeah, right. And I know, like, once again, I know that's a surprise to y'all because I'm just like so manly.
This is true.
Yeah. So, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the Neil, that guy. That's how unimportant he is to me. I just forget just like that. And so, and the answer that one of these guys gives is like, hey, my sentiments exactly, man. That's what we trying to get folks to understand. It's like, look, man, we acknowledge that the Lord gives. There's so many things to be thankful for. Man, we here. Listen, we're living a dream. We're living it. We get to compete in this capacity. Heck yeah, we're gonna praise God. The Word of God will even tell you, man. It's like, you run a race, man. Not everybody's gonna be a winner.
Yeah.
It's like Neil deGrasse is caught up in this participation trophy stuff.
Definitely.
Like, man, yeah. There's somebody's gonna, is gonna be on the losing end. And but I get it, Neil. It's like, people want, because I've said and I've written dialogue about this. It's, you got people out there. On the flip side of it, you got a lot of people out there who are quick to blame God. They're quick to blame God when things go wrong, slow to thank Him when things go right. You're one of those people. You've gone beyond blaming God to just being dismissive of it. So when things go right, who do you credit? What do you credit for when things go right? And when things go wrong, well, it's just like, I guess it just affirms you in your belief to not believe. So thanking God, man, that takes humility and it takes strength. It's people like Neil deGrasse who are so shallow and just so flippin' lazy when it comes to understanding this stuff, man. It's the weakness is in the pride. Remember, y'all, pride is the weakest thing about us. And Neil deGrasse is terribly weak. He's full of pride and thinks and is too smart for his own good, I reckon. You know, he is the type of person who would leapfrog over the tree of life, the same way that Adam and Eve did, and go right to the tree of knowledge because he values knowledge over life. Right? That's how we have death as dominion. You know, we're under death's dominion in this world. So, you know, Neil asking this question, you know, why not blame God when you lose? That's seriously, man, that's a dumb question. I mean, I guess Neil is trying to make the point of you can't really believe in God. You don't really believe in this person who gives you this sort of stuff. When you can be selective about your faith about him. If you're going to invest all this faith in why you would win, and he's the cause of it, you know, he's at the root of it, then shouldn't you be consistent with your faith and see him as the one to blame if you don't win? He withheld victory from you. He didn't fortify you to do it. It's like, where was your God? Who answers your prayers? Where was he? I get it, man. I really do. But once again, if that were the case, Tyson, the nature as we know it it couldn't work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you're supposed to be all about physics and stuff like that. You know that there's going to be these causes and effects and things like that. There's going to be positive and negative outcomes. All right, you should know that. And the thing about that is, Tyson, you should also know that man cannot design that dynamic. But at the same time, you know that this dynamic did not design itself. You have to know that, man. You have to know it. All right. Really, man, if you're as smart as you think you are, you have to know that the causality of this stuff, the cause and effect of things, it had to be initiated. It had to be designed. So with the things that we're subject to and you know, the heartbreak of losing, and sometimes, you know, loss can be in the form of losing a game. Sometimes a loss can be, you know, the loss of a person losing their life and stuff like that. That is the dynamic of nature, but we weren't supposed to be subject to that. We are now. All right. We have to be subject to, you know, people like you know, putting out this dribble that you put out there, trying to promote, you know, the idea that believing in God is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, no, believing in your theories, you know, those things are ridiculous. These man-made ideas that you have of how things work. And, you know, as followers of Christ, man, we love science, right? We love it. But unlike you think that, you know, science is just this thing that happens. We understand that science is living and thinking. The omniscience, God, the all science, right? The science just means knowledge, man. You know, and God is all that. So yeah, we totally value science. We value the prime engineer of it all. He engineered these things. These things have a working order to it, man. A working order. And yeah, heck yeah, we're gonna acknowledge that. It doesn't mean that we just believe things that happen by like flipping magic or anything like that. No, man, we look at the details of it and we marvel at it. Say, wow, man, it's like you know, finding like a well-run machine. You marvel at the engineering of it.
Yeah. And
from there, be like, yeah, dude, whoever put this together, whoever designed this, man, and had it going on. We're the same way, man, about the workings of the universe, and the workings of how things, you know, play out, and how things interact together to produce a result and all that sort of stuff. We look at that, man, and we just marvel at the engineering of it. You know, that's just the difference with it. We have the humility to be able to do that. And you have these people who have the humility to be able to say, yeah, thank you, God. Thank you for the talent that I have. You know, some people are just born with certain talents. They're gifted. They're gifted, that means that there's a giver. Some people are just wired to do certain things better than the average person can. You know, and these people acknowledge that. There's a lot of people out there who don't acknowledge it. They got these gifts, man. They're really talented. They don't want to give God any glory. It's all about believing in yourself and all that sort of stuff, you know. It's tearing us apart, man. That's just prideful thinking. So anyway, y'all, Neil deGrasse, once again, showing that he's a grasshole.
Right. And I do want to give those Christian athletes who were giving God the glory in their loss, still thanking him for the blessings that they have.
Yeah.
I want to give them propers, you were right. They are from University of Texas at Austin.
Okay.
Longhorns, hook 'em.
Hook, right? So, yeah, there you go, man. That right there, man, that takes strength.
Yes.
That takes character. You're not gonna sit there and butt hurt and be like, oh, like, you know, God did not convict you. It's like, for real? Is that what you expect people to be like, Neil?
Right.
Man, that's childish, dude. That's childish. No, these are men who are just like, look, man, that's what it takes to be a real man. Things like that. Mm-hmm. All right? To even in their losses, like, you know what? We still gonna praise the Lord, man. Thank you, God, that we were here. Find something to be grateful for. And that is a heck of a thing to be grateful for, man. That's not just trying to convince yourself. They said, look where they are. You know? So we got this, we've achieved this. It's like maybe we didn't win this, but in terms of like even being on the team, you know, we won that. You know, and have been able to, like, you know, do what we love on a scholarship or doing what we love and be able to make a living. Oh, man, blessed. So much to be thankful for, man. Anyway, what's next? What do we got? We got Brandon Gill. Let me copy this link address. I'm going to copy it from Google, and I'm going to try pasting it in Safari, which is giving me a bunch of crap today. Okay, that opened up decently. All right, that's the method right there. It opens up so fast, I'm impressed. Okay, so Elon, not Elon Musk. So you say Elon, it's like you gotta say Omar really quick. People think you're talking about Elon Musk. First term GOP rep, Brandon Gill of Texas. All right, now we're getting into how Texas representative is supposed to act, dang it.
Right.
Enough with this Sheila Jackson Lee and what's her name?
Oh.
Colgate. You know, Snuffleupagus, the one with the eyebrows.
Yeah, and Jasmine something.
Crockett? Is
Crockett,
it Yeah, there you
yes.
go. Look like she got like Venus flytraps. You know, some Venus flytraps for eyes. You know, it's so if a fly was to go by or something like that, she should eat a fly with her eyeball.
She probably does. I do have an update on her.
Uh-oh.
It's kind of a miracle. I didn't believe it when I heard it, then I had to go see it. So when Elon Musk went through his big detailed thing of what USAID was really doing with their money, she actually said, thank you for providing all this evidence, because she was just coming at him. Thank you for providing this evidence. I do think it's important to cut the waste in the government. And I was like, that couldn't have been her. There must be somebody that looks like her. But
That's from the Lord.
Right?
Right?
Maybe she's maybe getting a clue.
Hey, I guess 1 yard at a time.
Yeah.
Let's do it. That's great to hear. Okay, so first term GOP Representative Brandon Gill, Texas, is calling on the Trump administration to send Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat, Minnesota, back to her homeland of Somalia. America would be a better place if Elon, there's a lot of people that we could put on that. I guess they could, and even if they may not be from Somalia, they can all go back to Somalia with her. How about that? Anyway, we're deported back to Somalia, Gill wrote Tuesday on the X platform. Included in Gill's tweet was a video clip featuring Omar where she appears to be coaching fellow Somalis living in the U.S., perhaps illegally, how to resist federal immigration officials. I guess if she's going to have the seminar for them, then I guess they must be here legally. The video is posted by conservative influencer Greg Price, who wrote, Ilhan Omar is now hosting workshops for Somalians living in the country illegally to advise them on how to avoid being deported. Several ex-users back Gill 100%. She's anti-American as they come. She pledged, and y'all, and the thing is, according to the Constitution, she's not supposed to have the opposite she has. She is in rebellion, just as the Constitution describes rebellion. That she'd be like poster child for that. Okay, she pledged allegiance to the United States and has never ever acted against it. She pledged allegiance to. Okay, wait. She's anti-American and she pledged allegiance to the United States and has only ever has only ever acted against it. She's a fraud, liar, and a traitor to this country, one wrote. Okay, so Yeah, this is the same woman. You remember? I mean, she's one of those people spearheading the defund the police. You know, heck, if you really was, I don't exactly disagree. I just think you're barking up the wrong tree. It's the public sector unions that you might want to defund. It'd be great to get the police out of that. Get the police to stop being unionized. All right, no more unions, because that's a revenue collecting arm for the Democrat Party. Okay, if you really want to back the badge and you really want to help, get law enforcement really back on track and fix this stuff, because they're pawns. They're pawns for the Democrat Party. I don't care how conservative a police officer might be out there. You're collecting dues. You're collecting revenue for the Democrat Party, and we got to break that connection, man. The police would do themselves a favor, all right, to get out of that. Sitting congressman, U.S. citizen, to facilitate the invasion of our country by illegal alien Somalis. So yeah, I would tend to agree. It's she is not only announced, her rebellion against the United States, she makes it policy.
Yeah.
All right, she was able to make policy. She's able to do acts with her office, with taxpayer funding, to do these things. Oh yeah, she's definitely in error. She got to go. Let's see, what else we got?
I mean, I don't even know how to word the question. She is coaching illegal Somali immigrants on how to skate ice. Like, I guess I shouldn't
no
say
pun
that.
intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. On how to get around ICE and being deported. Isn't that breaking the law somehow? She's a congresswoman.
Yeah, she's definitely in a violation of the law. But when you have people who take these offices and they go in, they either find loopholes, manipulate the law, with the pen, or can just fully interpret the law however they want. In the surroundings of her constituency, and get away with it. So that's what she does. That's why I keep trying to tell folks that cultural groundwork has to be laid.
Amen. Yeah.
You have people like this, they go into office, man, and they'll get away with this stuff because there's no cultural groundwork to be able to stand against it. That's why that stuff has to be laid first.
Yeah.
And when it is, you'll see that a lot of these people, it shouldn't be a thing where the government has to remember, y'all, we're governed by our consent. Okay, and I know that a lot of MAGA voters are out there. It's like, that's right, Trump's gonna get in there. He's gonna take it to these people and strong arm them and stuff like that. Is that really the kind of government that you want?
No.
That's kind of not what the government is supposed to do. I thought we were supposed to be self-governing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're waiting for some, rock-ribbed politician to come in there and just whip the people into shape and whatnot. No, it's not supposed to work that way. All they're supposed to do is make sure that our God-given rights are protected. That's what they're supposed to do. We're supposed to be the ones, us, the people. We're supposed to be the ones who are in this flux, and then the government's supposed to be the ones who make sure that we don't get to where this flux doesn't get to where we're murdering each other to prove our point. Okay, but unfortunately, we have even that within our representatives. But why is that? Because the cultural groundwork hasn't been laid. And as far as the Democrats and liberals, they have. Their cultural groundwork is definitely laid. All right, it's laid thick. All right. And Republicans are way behind as far as that goes, and expecting politicians, to go in and do something about it, and that's really not supposed to be how that works.
Right.
So people like Ilhan Omar, she had the cultural groundwork to get in and do what she does, and there wasn't that opposite side to really stand against it.
Yeah. The amazing thing is I remember in the last election, there were outright just ballots that were phony. She did not win the election.
Yeah.
If they did any sort of investigation, which Republicans did, they found thousands of ballots that were just phony, fake, made up. But I don't know what's wrong with the Republicans there. They didn't, I don't know how do you say, challenge it. They didn't challenge it. They just lay down. And my aunt is from her area, and my aunt and her friends for years, over 10 years now, they're afraid to take cabs, Lyfts, and Ubers, anything that's, they can get a ride home, because it's always, always a Somali man, and they get mistreated. And I mean dumped on the side of the road, like in 20-degree weather, and get told that they're not going to be taken certain places because it's all about the Somali culture invading Minnesota.
Yeah.
And it's just shocking to me. You've got these Republican women who aren't doing anything. They're just kind of laying down and taking this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for real, y'all. It's these are things that have to be solved culturally.
Amen.
Not politically. If not, you'll just have you can have a person that make it's obvious. It's obvious that she cheated.
Yes, it is.
These people can get away with cheating. Remember why, y'all. They're able to get away with, they can pull off cheating, and they can just go ahead and show it. It can be totally shown that they're cheating. But it doesn't matter, because cheating is not as evil as what they've made Republicans out to be.
Yeah,
that's what Republicans don't seem to understand. Democrats and Republicans have helped them do it. They helped them do it.
Yeah.
And Republicans or Democrats have effectively made Republicans out to be the most evil faction on the planet. So whatever Democrats do in comparison is like, no big deal.
Yeah.
Right. Well, at least I'm not like them Republicans, who do this and who do that, or, who are anti-women and anti-black and it's like, man, you just make Republicans out to just be the lowest form of life on earth. So Democrats, they get away with this stuff. Cultural groundwork has not been laid against what they've done.
It's a shame.
Let's see. What else we got here? Let's go to Tulsi Gabbard, officially confirmed as Director of National Intelligence. Let's open this up. There. I have to do like an extra step because my Safari is working like really dumb. It'll go ahead and open up if I take the link from Chrome and then put it in here, and then it'll kind of act right. Still an extra step that I shouldn't have to do. But.
Yeah, Jello Burger says there's a reason it's called the Pledge of Allegiance.
Come on now. And even, but I guess, it's like one hand over your heart. You got one hand over your heart and your other hand behind your back, with the cross, with your fingers crossed.
High Mileage Husband finally made it early tonight.
Hey, what's up, man?
Early meaning just slightly late.
Right. Oh, man, I'm sorry you
made
missed the Harry Bowles. Yeah.
No,
sorry.
you just read the title. You didn't go over the story yet, did you?
What's that?
The Harry Bowles story.
Oh, I thought that was like the first story. No? Am I Freudian slipping? Am I making that like the premiere?
Yeah, the first story was Neil deGrasse.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Well, never mind. Okay, so it's official. Tulsi Gabbard has just been confirmed as President Trump's Director of National Intelligence. The Senate vote 52-48 to confirm Tulsi Gabbard. This is huge. This is a huge win for America and a huge blow to the deep state, also known as the Invisible Empire, even though a lot of people don't know that. Let's see. Take a look at the breaking news. Let me get past all the tweets.
No.
Notably, Mitch McConnell, that guy, was the lone Republican to side with Democrats against Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation. All of the other key swing Republican senators, including Senator Lisa Murkowski, Todd Young, and Susan Collins, ended up backing Tulsi. The Senate voted. Okay, I read that already. Gabbard is Trump's 14th nominee to be confirmed since January 20th. Gabbard, one of the president's more controversial picks, faced concerns from several Republican senators over her lack of support for Ukraine. She's looking better to me already.
I know, right?
And like I said, man, I'm hoping that she's really starting to see the light, man, and come around, on some things. I think you know what the things are.
Thanks.
The things. And let's see. Her shifting position on FISA, Section 702. Y'all remember FISA? Can we look at your privates?
Yeah.
A key surveillance and security tool. Her 2017 meeting with former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and her past support for Edward Snowden. Like, wow, y'all got a problem with these things?
Amazing.
And these are, I guess that's why they're called rhinos.
Yes.
Got some Republicans in there who
Exactly.
kind of, they don't really understand what it is to, to have this conservative bent. Anyway, several key swing Republican senators, including Senator Susan Collins. I read that already. No, okay. Susan Collins, Murkowski, and Todd Young ultimately decided to back the confirmation. McConnell was only. I read that already, man. Let me see.
Why is
it doubling up on me like that?
Same stuff.
Making me look stupid. I don't need no help with that. Okay. So, there you go, y'all. How do you guys feel about that? She's going to be the director of national intelligence, and we know that Democrats. Is she maintaining her party affiliation as a Democrat?
I was going to ask the chat. I know she left the Democratic Party in 2022, I believe, but did she become a Republican or unaffiliated?
Because you could still be like, you got a lot of people who vote Republican. That's why I say Republican voter. People who vote Republican, but they don't consider themselves Republican.
Right.
Wonder what the deal is with Tulsi as far as this goes. And, but Democrats, they got a whole different idea of what intelligence is. And they got a whole different idea of what national intelligence is.
Absolutely.
National intelligence would be doing things like, what Ilhan Omar is doing. So they've got a whole different, perspective as far as that goes. Let's see. What else we got here?
We have a question submitted by the 1700 for the end.
What's up, man?
We'll do it at the end.
Okay. Anderson Cooper having him a little hissy fit, having him a little meltdown on air, curses. He called him the D word for penis. He called him that. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. If you guys, if you want to watch the video and see Anderson get all flustered. And I'm sorry, I gotta break my habit. I gotta do my new routine here of how I'm gonna open up these pages and read a little bit of this article. Okay. On Tuesday, dang it, ads, knock it off.
I know, so frustrating.
On Tuesday, Anderson Cooper nearly lost hold of his mild-mannered facade while battling. Get out of my way, Letitia James. Okay, another ad. Should Letitia James, yes or no, or whatever. While battling a Republican guest defending the Trump administration's bid to root waste, Roto-Rooter, and fraud from the federal budget. Let me just read through this, man, because I'm reflecting again on Anderson Cooper and how he, the dialogue that they had. I was like, dang, Anderson, really? Okay, so. Just let me get to it. Once again, man, do y'all see how Democrats are just driven by, I'm trying to tell you, driven by imagination. You just got to imagine this stuff isn't there or is there. They just imagine stuff like that. Anderson is in full-on tranny mode. Okay, you can look down, look at your plumbing. You got the evidence right there. It's like, and still be like, I don't see no evidence. You got the evidence is right here, dude. You got the audit, look at it. Look at it. And be like, no. And just look at the twig and berries and be like, no, I'm a female. You see, that's what it's LGBT. I'm telling you. Come on. You gotta admit, it's not just the LGBT, it's just Democrats in general. They're fully given over to their imaginations, man. Let me go read this. President Donald Trump and special employee Elon Musk joined together on Tuesday to lay out a startling series of finding as part of the Department of Government Efficiency's investigation into federal spending. Among them, Musk claimed is evident that money appropriated to the Federal Emergency Relief Agency was spent on luxury hotels, migrants living in New York. So like I said, man, once again, you provide this evidence. This is the kind of stuff, man, that our nation is given over to.
Yeah.
More and more. And we have to do the cultural work to call it out. And once again, man, it's not with a mean spirit. It's like there's no way that they're going to take it kindly, even though you've got no malice, no ill will in your heart. Man, look, man, just call it what it is. All right, just calling it what it is. It's lunacy. It is. It's just being totally given over to your imagination. It's totally irrational, and you shouldn't make people live like this. We're not going to embolden you and enable you to do that. We got to tell you, man, no. I'm sorry if I misgendered you, but no. It's like, no, can't do that because we're not helping you. We wouldn't be helping you if we did. So it doesn't help, right? We're gonna speak truth and love, man. We're gonna speak truth and love. Now that 59 million should have instead gone to hurricane relief efforts in North Carolina. Former New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu. That's so fun to say. Sound like snoo.
Oh no. Chris
Sununu told Cooper. A heated back and forth kicked off after Cooper characterized Musk's conclusion as not factually accurate. Some of the details have not come out, like the $59 million spent on luxury hotels. It's actually not, you're talking about the FEMA money. The FEMA money that was used for migrants. That's okay now? Asked the incredulous Sununu. No, I'm not. I'm not saying it's okay. Don't put... Anderson saying, talking about, things being put in his mouth is just something
Ew.
Don't put words in my mouth. Yeah. Anyway. Let me stop. Okay, so would you stop that? Stop the process? Don't be a D word for penis. And exasperated Cooper shot back. What I'm saying is that the portrayal by him is not factually accurate. He's talking about luxury hotels. You can't. I'm not. I'm reading the stuttering that's going on here.
Yeah.
I'm not as I'm not as Look, I was in Hurricane Katrina. I saw what FEMA does. Until he sends you a personal text, I get it. Sununu appeared saying during cross. Okay, so you guys get the gist of it. Anderson Cooper's just going to sit there and be in denial about this.
Yep.
Okay, now look, Anderson. CNN, I imagine, still has a budget. You know,
little bit.
And if you want to see where this money is going, you want the evidence. Which you don't. You don't want the evidence. But man, I'm pretty sure at any time, you can go ahead and have CNN put you on a plane and fly you to all of these locations of where this money has gone to.
Right.
Okay, and you can go ahead and be out there with your little black shirt and stuff like that, walking over things and saying, look at this, and look at that. As the silver fox gets on out there and breaks this case wide open of where this stuff is going in Geraldo Rivera style.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing stopping you from these. But the thing is, Anderson, you ain't got to do all that. The evidence is right there. Okay, but you're gonna be in denial about it, and these are the people who influence our country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
In the whole clip, I mean, what you're saying is that evidence word. In the whole clip, Anderson Cooper just said a few times, but he's not giving us any evidence.
Yeah.
That's why Sununu is just losing his marbles, because he's like, the payment is the evidence.
Yeah. They're
talking about the payments that FEMA is making on behalf of all these immigrants.
Yeah.
Illegal immigrants.
So once again, y'all, is it like when these godless people, when they talk about they want proof and they want evidence, I'm like, prove to me that you want the proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that? And where's the proof that you actually want the proof? Because we're giving it to you. Here it is. You don't want proof, you don't want truth. That's what's evident. So yeah, Anderson Cooper. It's that, what's worse is, their audience may be depleting, but I don't know, something's keeping them afloat. You still got enough people out there who believe this stuff. who are still in
Yeah.
line with it. That's the scary part, you know.
It is scary. Different subject, but still relevant. Watching trains go by says, you should pin the tabs so if you close the browser, problem solved, except the loading time, LOL.
Yeah. and great suggestion. Stuff like that, you know, I do. It just, it bogs, you know. And right, and today, the computer's just being moody.
Wow.
I don't know if it's I think it's probably more of the internet connection. It's been a little, shoddy past couple of days. I don't want to say it's the weather.
Yeah.
I mean, weather can affect, transmission, but.
It's been cloudy and cold before, and it
Yeah.
didn't happen.
We got cloudy, cold, rainy. Got a thunderstorm last night. Little strobe light show. Some disco out there. Let's see, what else we got here? Kristi Noem claws back $59 million in FEMA money spent on housing migrants in New York's luxury hotels, including Laken Riley's killer. Let's check it out, y'all. Bam. Copy that. No.
Question while you're doing that. Jello Burger says, time for Starlink, Zoe?
We would need some of that Starlink money, y'all.
Well, not only that, it's not just the money. You looked into it, and it's actually not that, it doesn't provide that much, how do you say it?
Yeah, for what it is.
Gigabytes, megabytes, upload
Yeah.
speed.
For our operation, and I appreciate the suggestion, but yeah, for our operation, it wouldn't work. Upload speed, definitely not. We really don't want to do even if it's low orbit satellite. Now the better kind of wireless for what we're doing is fixed wireless. Is definitely better, but definitely not even low orbit satellite wouldn't work for what we're doing. And two, it's expensive, and three, it would take a long time.
Yeah.
You know,
It was like at least a 3-year wait around here.
3 years. It seemed like I remember it being more like 3 months, but I don't know. It's
just not around here yet.
yeah. So it's still it's a wait. But no, for what we have, it's been working pretty good. But lately it's been a little shoddy. So we may have to see if we can either that doesn't get remedied or see if we can find something, because it's turns out that we've got some options now. We didn't have the options before for where we moved to. They were the only option. And it's not a bad option. It's just the only choice that we have. But now some other options are presenting themselves, and it's like, okay, so now I forgot which tab I was supposed to have open. Dang it. Hold on, we'll get back on track.
Kristi Noem claws back.
Kristi Noem. Okay, let me see if I can get that tab to open back up. Because I had the tab open, but I lost it. And man, all this does is just open up a page with a whole bunch of articles on it. I don't know which one it is. Man, somebody tell a joke or something. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, man. I'm gonna help. That's what's gonna populate the feed now. Let me see. Well, maybe I'll come back to that one, because I can't seem to see where the article is opening up for what I'm actually supposed to be reading. I know you guys are so disappointed.
I don't know if you'll know what this means, but the 1700s said Starlink Roam is $50 a month with 50 gigabytes. Or GBs.
50 gigabytes?
Is that what GB means?
I think so. Gigabytes, gigabits. Yeah, I remember. I looked into that too, and there were some other details in it, man. That and thanks for the suggestion. There were some other details in it that it doesn't work. It wouldn't work for what it is that we're doing. Like I said, the fixed satellite in a rural area, fixed satellite is it works best. And
Fixed satellite?
no, sorry, fixed wireless. Sorry, thank you.
Okay.
It works better. The roaming thing is still kind of dependent on, you have to, as long as you're, I guess, within range of like a certain satellite or whichever.
Okay.
But we still run into the same problem. It's
Yeah.
it's like the same issue. Let me see. Yeah, maybe we'll get back to that one, but it's not opening up the way that it's supposed to. Let's jump to this one. Representative Ayanna Pressley says the quiet part out loud, says Democrats willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people. Let's go ahead and read a bit of this.
Just find her quote.
I know, right? That whole thing speaks for itself, and it's not really taken out of context, y'all. There's
No.
This is what it is, but this is what I want folks to understand about it. She got that, she got that facial expression on there. Looked like she's squeezing one out. Yeah, she looked like she farted in this picture of her. So squad member rep Ayanna Pressley, Democrat, Massachusetts, I think it's Massachusetts, spoke at a recent rally to express her approval of censoring the American people if she and her cronies don't have access to our wallets. In February, President Trump fired Rohit Chopra, the director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, days after Elon Musk's Doge team entered the Bureau's headquarters. Office of Management and Budget, OMB, Director Russell Vought, who is also the acting head of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFBP, announced that all new funding following to the agency was on hold and nearly all activities of the agency were suspended. Okay, boring. So, but if you look at the video, that's what she says. They're willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring American people. So y'all already know what Malcolm X, has said. If you put your support behind the Democrat Party, you are a political chump and a traitor to your race. So that would be her.
Yeah.
But see here, this is the big takeaway from this, folks. This is what folks need to understand. Democrats, the party of systemic racism. Remember, y'all, systemic racism is a real thing in America, and the Democrats are the ones pulling the strings of it. That's who they've always been. All right, so Republicans, they do themselves a disservice by trying to say that systemic racism doesn't exist. Yes, it does. That's what Democrats do. And in this systemic racism, y'all, they position, how this works is that they put black folks, like this right here, she's a puppet. And what they want to do, y'all, what Democrats want to do is that they want to flame up resentment. Okay? They want the Republican voter to resent black folks. It keeps the focus off the Democrat Party, the white supremacists, the actual white privileged. Okay, because that's who the Democrat parties are. Remember, y'all, the Republican Party was founded to stop white privilege. That's why it was founded. All right, because Democrats felt entitled to whatever it is that they felt entitled to. White Democrats, the ones who founded the Confederacy, the ones who wrote their own constitution, say, hey, we want to be able to have, we want provisions for Negro slavery. That's in their constitution. When people try to say that the war wasn't about slavery, yes, it was. Because if you look at Democrats now, you see how obsessed they are with race now? They were the same back then.
Yes.
It's like Republicans don't register that. Like mainstream Republicans, they don't get that. All right? But that's who the Confederacy was. Okay? So she is put in front. Democrats, they strategically put these black people where they are, y'all. These people who are poorly qualified to do these things, they do that for a reason.
Yeah.
They do it because they definitely want the divide. The Republican Party was founded because of black folks. All right, that was their motive. All right, when you had the abolitionists pulling together, it's like our first order of business is that we're going to abolish slavery. All right, so Democrats, really hated that. They really hated the Republicans for that. So with this one, and Democrats have been using black folks ever since, finding different ways, to basically, keep black folks on the plantation to do their bidding. All right. And they put people like her out there to drive the divide, get the Republican Party to forget the reason why they were founded in the first place. And this is how the Democrats maintain control over the black populace and maintain them as a voter stock, by making sure that black folks hate Republicans and making sure that Republicans more and more resent black folks, right? So you'll have people out there making claims like this. People won't be necessarily looking at the Democrat Party for stuff like this. They'll be looking at her, right? They'll more and more associate. That's what the Democrats are doing. Conditioning, programming, getting Republicans to resent these things through the lens of black folks. That's what they're doing. And it's working, right? It's working. So that's what this is all about, y'all. Her doing this kind of stuff, and she's doing this at the behest of the Democrat Party. And the Democrats, they condition these people from childhood. They're there, right? It's like if they don't get black kids at the abortion clinic, they make sure to get them into schools.
Yeah.
All right, they're there. Republicans are not. Republicans aren't getting in the way of this stuff. These people, the Democrats have a strong hold on these people. You notice the grip that Democrats keep on the black community, because the black community is the greatest commodity that they have.
Amen.
They will fight tooth and nail to keep control over the black community. And Republicans don't say, they be out there talking about freedom isn't free. Well, this is your charge. This is what it's going to cost. You got to stop acting like the whole so-called race thing is not important. It's not something you need to care about, and stop letting yourselves be conditioned by the Democrat Party as far as it goes. Because they're using this stuff against you, and Republicans are helping them do it, right? And they're going to complain about it. You keep saying freedom isn't free. This is what it costs. You're going to have to get in the way. You're going to have to get in on it. You're going to have to get in the Democrats' way. But like I said, we'll see if Republicans are walking like they talk it. Because the thing about it is, y'all, if you're going to say that freedom isn't free, it's going to be a cost that you really don't want to pay, but you're going to have to. All right? That's what it is to be, in a war, if you will. And this is probably an easier price to pay than actually getting into a hot war. All right? If you keep on going and doing this stuff that you're doing, that's what we're going to end up with, is a hot war. Some Republicans, they want it to be a hot war. I wish they would. Come and try that in a small town and all that sort of stuff. Like, dude, you don't want that. It doesn't have to be that. Instead, put that energy and put that pride aside and be like, okay, how can we get in the way of these Democrats? How can we get back to the spirit of what it was to be a Republican Party in the first place, and get in the way of Democrats having their way with black folks?
Amen.
Because that's what Democrats have been doing. They've always felt entitled to that, y'all, having their way with black folks. And black folks, and taking control of them and having them do what it is that they want to do to advance their idea of what they think America should be. Right? Republicans understood what it was to get in the way of that. Unfortunately, it took a war.
Yeah.
It did take a war, and that was a bad war, y'all. And unfortunately, even a lot of Republicans today don't understand what the war was. That's it. So all that to say, y'all, it's kind of pointless. It's like, dude, in that sense, I would agree. Is that it's pointless to have a war if you're not going to uphold what the war was about. Okay, the war was a right war. It was the right war to have. But what happened after that, just once again, it's like, okay, we did our part, and Democrats just came in and it just changed the whole narrative of it.
Yeah.
Right? Can't let that happen. You got to defend the history on that. You got to defend the narrative. But what did Democrats do? Democrats said, okay, and they got their hooks into everything. Democrats went. And they went ahead and took control of education, entertainment, the judicial system. They just went and put their tentacles into everything. You know what I'm saying? They've laid the groundwork in the culture to keep on doing this stuff that we're having to endure.
Yeah.
So, but why? because Republicans think that the victory to have is always political. It's their guy or their gal that they get in office. That's what they're. They don't care about cultural victories, and they surely don't care about spiritual victory. Political victory, y'all. You lost a third of the battle. 2/3 of the battle.
Yep.
You know, you ain't gonna. It's not sustainable to just to have your political victory. It's not sustainable. We just gonna keep running into problems like this. And now with this person out there talking about, she saying that she willing to work to anybody who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people. So her American bigot, she's a bigot against America altogether, right? So flat out bigot who doesn't want us to have our right to say what's right. She wants the free. She doesn't want those who are saying what's wrong to be censored. She wants those who say what's right to be censored. Why is that? Because she's a pervert. And she works at the behest of perverts. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Roland, he's got liberal family in Seattle. I can relate, Roland. You just got to stay off of Facebook so that you don't see their posts.
Yeah.
He says, amen, Zoe. My family is hung up on race. And get this, they're middle-class, successful blacks still complaining.
Yeah. And the racism that they see, that's the thing about it. The racism that they see, that's in your area. You're seeing racism through the lens of an area that are controlled by Democrats. Of course you see racism all around you because that is the environment that the Democrats have shaped for you while making you think it's somebody else. And this is how they maintain being the invisible empire. This is how they are what is called now the deep state. So yeah, I hear you, Roland. That's what it is.
Barry Chenault is in the chat.
BC, what's up, man?
He says the Democratic Party appoints black leaders so the black community will be party first.
Yeah. Hey, and it's just like Margaret Sanger said, Democrat Margaret Sanger. We don't want the word to go out that we're out to exterminate the black community.
Yeah.
The black folks. And we'll use the colored minister to keep the rebellious ones in line. Right? That's what it's. This is Negro Project stuff, man. This stuff goes way back. Democrats, they don't want black folks totally annihilated. I mean, they gotta have a population to do their bidding. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have a population for that. They want to keep the black population at a manageable population. All right, a manageable population that they can use to steer the perception of America, and they use black folks to gain sympathy votes for whatever cause they want. It doesn't matter if it could be economic policy, it could be immigration policy, it could be social policy, like whether it's abortion, gay marriage, transgenderism. Who do you think that they gain sympathy votes for those causes? They use black folks for that. Okay, and once again, when you tie all these things to it, and it drives up resentment. See, the Democrats are the one behind. The Democrats, they're the ones behind the curtain, pulling the strings.
Yes.
And direct focus of resentment on black folks, right? And you have a lot of Republicans forgetting that Democrats, we need to be bipartisan, reach across the aisle, and I said no. And they think that's how it's supposed to work, not realizing that Democrats are freaking criminals. You're not just in opposition or adversaries of people who have a political idea. Y'all, according to the Constitution, they are in full-on rebellion and criminal about what they're doing. Their mindset about America is criminal. It's a perversion of what America is supposed to be. They got a totally different idea of. The idea is so different, it's flipping criminal.
Yeah.
All right, that is what Republicans are dealing with, and they lose sight of that. But Democrats, they make sure of that because they put these black folks, they handpick these black folks. They know who they're doing, what they're doing. White supremacy is a real thing. And you don't think that in white supremacy they get black folks to do their bidding? That's why I'm trying to, like, y'all, it would crack me up, man, when I would see, certain, you'd have Republicans out there, say, well, no, the Confederacy wasn't about racism. There was even black people, man. There was even black people in the Confederate armies. I don't care. What the crap? Seriously, that's an argument that they would use. The Confederacy was not racist. They had black people in the Confederate army.
Amazing.
Okay, so you have black people in the Confederate army, kind of like the same way this woman right here is in the ranks of the Democrat Party too, doing their bidding, doing her part to make sure that the American experience is a failure. Yeah. Democrats use black folks too in the Confederate army also for the same freaking reason. The same way Democrats can have black folks going into these strategically placed abortion clinics to participate in their own genocide. So yeah, you got willing participants doing that. And these people think that, the Confederacy wasn't about racism because they had black folks in the army. What the crap, man? Now, like I said, y'all, what I tell you, Republicans do this to themselves. Brainwashed by the Democrat Party. It's like you got a lot of these Republicans think that everybody else is brainwashed by the Democrat Party, except for them.
Yeah, yep.
So, what else we got here? CNN's Dana Bash is now referring to Elon Musk as hairy scrotalia. B word for scrotum. That's what she sees. That's how she says that. She says balls. She says balls. Musk didn't spell it that way. Okay, we're trying to be adult. We're trying to be adults here, people. Maintain our integrity. I'm not going to give in. I will make it complicated. I will try to do what I can to. Come on, man. Let me copy the address. I'm stumbling over my routine here. Come on, load up. All right, so this is coming from the WLT report. I thought the epitome of the editorial is going to be, I thought the epitome of news segments would never be topped after CNN tried so seriously to cover Doge and the young staffer who goes by the name of Big Balls. And when I say big balls, I'm talking about the kind of balls that you use on a volleyball court. I'm using it in that context. Balls that you play games with.
Bowls. Yeah,
balls. Well, I guess whoever this person did, maybe they spelled it big, B-A-L-L-S.
I know that whoever titled the article, they spelled it that way. I'm wondering if it was clickbait.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Dana Bash is pronouncing it balls.
Yeah, you sneaky people. Okay. So the person who calls themselves big balls, I wonder if that's actually. They spell it
B-A-L-S.
Okay, got it. Okay. So in that, I guess she would be right to say big balls, like beach balls, or balls like AC/DC balls. We got big balls. All right. Watching that news coverage, an attempt to break it all down on CNN was something I thought could never be defeated, never improved upon. Certainly nothing could be more absurd than a once great news network reduced to acting like it's very serious business to go into great detail about why Big Balls is auditing the Treasury. At least that was until today. Today, CNN outdid themselves by running a new segment explaining why Elon Musk is now called Hairy Balls. It's real, yes. No, it's not satire, at least not from CNN. They got trolled hard. So now, allow me to explain. This is according to the editorial. Earlier this morning, Elon changed his name on X to Hairy Bowls. Now, what accent would that be? Help me out, y'all. Hairy Bowls. Like if you say it the way it is, Hairy Bowls. Would that be like, I don't know, like Cockney or something like that? Would that be a South African accent if you say it the way it's spelled? Hairy Bowls. O's. I don't know. Yeah. What accent would that be? He's already changed it back to Elon Musk as of press time for this article, but here's what it looked like. Anyway, and you can go see the Hairy Bowls for yourself. That didn't sound right. But all that to say, so this person, what is it, Dana Bash? I think she just wanted to say hairy balls. She just wanted to say
Obviously.
it. And spells it out that way. Elon Musk didn't spell it that way. All right, that's what he says, hairy bowls. Anyway, so these people, you know, their credibility. I mean, did she even make it a point to try to say that? I see what you did there. You know, you're trying to make some sort of innuendo or whichever, and it's close enough to sounding like, you know, hairy balls. But I see that you spelled it hairy bowls because you're just trying to get away with something. You're trying to be cute, right? But no, she goes out there and says that it's hairy balls, and that's not really what it was. You're being disingenuous. All right, let's see what else we got here. Last article for tonight, and women's rights activists blast museum tour, claiming Legos are heteronormative, anti-LGBT. Okay, so Legos, yeah, as far as I know, yeah, they're kind of on that tip too. You know, with the whole woke thing. I reckon they would consider themselves your allies. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But hey, we've been long saying it, dude. None of these things are safe, man. You know, following these people's ideology, they can come after anybody, find any sort of reason to cancel you and whatnot. But why? What makes Legos? What makes Legos this homophobic, you know, heteronormative faction? Well, there's this little dynamic about how we connect things. When you're looking at the components of a Lego piece, well, it has these, they have male attributes and female attributes. You would think that these women's rights activists would be all about it because one Lego brick, hey, it's gender fluid, you know? And they come in all, don't they come like in all the colors of their rainbow flag? I think it does, you know, you got all these colors in there. What y'all mad about? You just want to be mad. You just want to butthurt.
Right.
You just be mad about stuff. So each one of those bricks is like, yeah, they got male components and they're gender fluid. That should make you happy. You know, but here's the thing. See, with Legos, the male and female parts, they have to connect a certain way, right? You can't connect the poles to poles, and you can't connect the holes to holes. The physics just don't work that way. Nature just doesn't work that way. All right, so you guys are going to be offended by Legos. Legos, y'all. And the thing is, do you really think that people are going to be influenced by the male-female dynamic of the Legos, of which when you combine them, it would be called mating? Because that's how mating actually works. You know, connecting the male pole to the female hole, right? That's how it works. And even though these, you know, you have these bricks that are, you know, that have these attributes to them. I don't think Legos been around for a while, and despite that dynamic, I don't think Legos has had any influence. Obviously didn't have an influence on you feminists. Right. Legos has been around. It didn't stop you. You know? So you think that Legos is like some big threat to your ideology? You're really reaching. You know, really reaching out there. So man, just leave Legos alone. These are just people who are just looking for something completely, giving over to their imaginations. They think that Legos is something to be apprehensive about. No. And so the museum tour, I guess the museum is under threat of being canceled. I wonder has the museum given a response as far as this goes?
You know what? I didn't see that they did. If they did, I missed it.
Yeah, it's like I hope that the museum ain't gonna be all squishy about it.
Right.
You know, and kowtow to this and you know, make some sort of stupid effort to change the way, you know, the Lego lexicon, if you will. I hope they don't, you know, do that. Let's see if we might see it in there. I've already, like, you know, given the gist of it, so I don't want to reiterate that. I just want to kind of scroll through here really quick to see.
The last paragraph says, as the Telegraph reported in January 2023, the museum removed a display following complaints that a cabinet titled Boy or Girl promoted propaganda instead of science. The display featured chest binding equipment and described gender as something difficult to define, claiming that it may not match your biological sex. So the Lego museum is already wackadoo lost, like cuckoo, with the whole sex thing. Sex meaning, gender, sex, how they call that gender now. And then this person comes in and they're even more wackadoo. And of course they're offended at anything the woke Lego museum is going to do, because you can't do anything right.
Well, that's
when you're woke.
That's your crime, Lego. You're just not loony enough.
Exactly.
Do better. Right? I hope at this point you see where to draw a line and say, dang, man, okay, maybe we need to rethink some things.
Right?
Maybe we need Jesus. Yes, you do.
Yes.
All right, y'all.
Did you want to go to the Kristi Noem article or no?
Yeah, well, yeah. No.
I could just read the title, and we read the article, so we can throw a couple of details in there.
Okay.
Because you read the Anderson Cooper story, and this is coming up the heels of that. Kristi Noem claws back $59 million in FEMA money spent on housing migrants in New York's luxury hotels, including Laken, Riley's killer, and Tren de Aragua. Is that how you say it?
I can't
Housing
see it.
them as well.
Well, Anderson, like I said, man, you could do a little field trip, and you can go to these hotels and see it. All right, so once again, you got these people who are going to be in denial about that, just deny the evidence. And you got people like that. If it doesn't fit their narrative, y'all, is really what it comes down to. And I get it, man. I understand. You don't want to be wrong about these sort of things, man. It's like your livelihood is at this point, your livelihood is dependent on maintaining your position on these sort of things. But hopefully at some point this stuff is just not going to be sustainable, and people just like, you know what, dude, just shut up. just shut up, man.
Yep.
All right, y'all.
We did have that question for the end by the 1700. What's y'all's opinion on the newly established house, or I think it's White House's Faith Office? And I've heard a little bit here and there. I think this is a better question for the Zopium Den because it's kind of more pertinent, and it is a great question because this is the first time we've had something like this. Paula White is the head of it, so that tells you a lot right there.
Yeah. She is, as far as I know, she's definitely got some baggage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the fact that she calls herself a pastor is...
Yeah, and there's that. So we'll tackle that in the Zopium Den, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question.
It's a great question.
All right, let's see. Go ahead and make sure I pull mine.
Did you have any Instagrammers?
I did. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Lego my Legos, I see that. And thank you guys so much for tuning in on the Instagrams. I appreciate you. And we're gonna get on up out of here for the evening. And we had a little bit of a party going on Instagram. Thank you guys so much. BronzeSerpentMedia.com though. Come on and boogie over to BronzeSerpentMedia.com. Tune in there. It don't cost you a dime, just a couple clicks of your time. And become a member, it's free. And drop that buck in the bucket if you want to help keep your brozo on the go. And thank you guys for tuning in on BronzeSerpentMedia.com and tuning in on YouTubes. We will see y'all next time. Right on, y'all. Night.